I wish for one thing. Results.
What's up everybody, and welcome back for this 8th installment of the Caustic Masterclass series, where today we're going to be reviewing the gatekeeping skills that Caustic can utilize, having a phenomenal zone control and zone awareness thanks to his gas abilities and ultimate that are exceptional in terms of utilizing the gatekeeping advantageous position that we're gonna define in order to utilize the best of Caustic capabilities. So whether you like to play edge or you have been unlucky at your landing on the ring rotations, being able to set up some successful gatekeeping is an important skill that you need to add to your arsenal. The most important parts of gatekeeping are, I will say, in 3 steps. First, being able to determine, following on the map, the closest to the ring edge possible. You're gonna set up your defensive position. Second, the natural advantage that you're gonna have with the ring damages that the team still in the ring will endure can also be improved by the position that you're gonna decide where to set up your defense. For example, with high ground or high cover, while your enemy team will have to come to you naturally in a very open area. And finally, the fact that you might be challenged by a third party, and therefore the cover that you can have from your back, or an eventual escape route that you might take if things get out of control. As doing a gatekeeping gives you a relative strong advantage on the team you're gonna fight, sometimes you might even do that when you're outnumbered. But you always need to remember that even being outnumbered, the team who's gonna escape the ring is gonna come at you strong. Therefore, it's very important that you remain close to your teammate at any given time and try not to be too greedy or over-ambitious on the area where you're gonna set up your gatekeep. A third party can change the balance in a split of a second, and also having your teammate getting rushed by the entire squad while you were watching another exit can end up making you fight alone an entire squad and lose the advantage that you originally had. However, being third party can actually be an asset on your gatekeeping, and you can utilize that at your advantage, knowing first that the squad still inside the ring is easily predictable on their path of exit, and second, having anticipated a potential third party, you can try to lead those two squads toward one another, and you and your squad ending up being the third party on the skirmish. You can also opt for a quick and efficient fight, and if unsuccessful, decide to simply disengage and let the squad inside the ring have a safe entry in the ring and leave to fight another day. Also remember that the enemy squad might utilize some of their legend abilities like a Valkyrie or Portal Wrath to completely avoid your gatekeeping and reset the balance to your disadvantage. So be always alert to those possibilities and don't hesitate to initialize a reset if necessary. Finally, remember that the more advanced the ring stages are gonna be, the strongest damages the enemy squad in the ring is gonna take, and therefore make the gatekeeping more efficient. However, the ring being also substantially smaller, the risk of having other parties engaging you will also increase. So even if ideally a gatekeep needs to occur when the enemy squad will have to run in a most open area as possible to get inside the ring, having also some cover for them can be utilized by Caustic extremely well, because you will know exactly where the enemy squad is going to go to rest and heal as quickly as possible, having taken damage from the ring. And once you manage to pinpoint this location, this is where you'll be able to release Hell on Earth and all the gas traps and ultimate that you can throw at them, even including grenades and arc stars, in order to have a very swift and efficient encounter. You can also use your gas traps and ultimate as a barrier to contain the enemy between the ring and the cover they will eventually take. And once you have pinpointed their exact position and the resting healing place, you can also do a surprise attack from behind, as they will probably not expect a squad still coming out from the ring, and close the fight very quickly and swiftly. You can also reinforce this control zone by other legend abilities like a Seer ultimate, but honestly the gas of Caustic is already efficient enough to be able to target your enemies and be able to intercept them relatively easily. When the gatekeep position is not ideal and puts you, for example, at a disadvantage in case of a third party is coming from the top of the hill, remember that you can also set up some traps in advance, trying to anticipate a potential path that an enemy squad coming out from the ring will take, giving you some kind of ring alarms in case of someone is coming from behind, and therefore being able to fully focus on the front of the inside the ring part and fight other squad without having to worry too much about having someone coming from behind. And once you notice some of your gas traps are being activated, you can anticipate that a squad is coming from behind and therefore assess if you're gonna still engage the fight that you are having on your current position, or just simply go to gatekeep and intercept this squad, or eventually just evade those two squads and reposition it to, for example, lead them to one another, and later on take the fight as a third party. An important part also of successful gatekeeping and follow-up is to always have an eye on your health, especially medkits and syringes. Remember that after ring 3, the ring closure are getting shorter and shorter, and therefore sometimes playing edges are gonna give you less and less time to fully recover or rotate, and having enough meds to survive inside those rings while having an enemy squad at bay, but also getting potentially gatekeeped yourself on the next ring rotation is very essential for your survival. So you need to be very comfortable to be able. So you need to be comfortable to fight inside the ring, and you can check the masterclass number 22, where you will learn everything there is to know to survive in the ring and become a beast while burning out, and become a top chef, if I may say, or a microwave expert in cooking enemy squads outside the ring.
Here we go, all dead. I told you, all dead.
Being able to third party a squad that is actually gatekeeping can also end up being extremely rewarding, as you'll probably gonna go for a good KP fest. Just remember that you need to wait for them to engage first the fight in order to sneak from behind ideally and surprise them swiftly, and also try to keep the area in control as much as possible, as once the third party happens, the situation usually becomes quickly very chaotic. So stay close with your teammate, keep the fight tidy and ideally in a pocket and well-controlled area, in order to stay healthy and inflict the maximum damages as possible to all the squads you're gonna be fighting in those encounters. And also, it's in some very rare cases, you might actually be encountering a fourth party, but not necessarily coming from behind, but maybe another squad who also take a late rotation and end up deciding to third party the current fight that they are seeing in front of them, having no choice but to exit the ring. So therefore always try to stay as healthy as possible and keep your fight quick and swift in order to avoid those scenarios, or to overcome those scenarios when you have no other choice but to fight your way out. If, unfortunately, you're the squad who end up being gatekept, it's not the end of the road, or if you don't have a Valkyrie ult or any escape capabilities. Caustic is also extremely strong outside the ring, and you can play on the vulnerable position that the enemy squad might see you, for them to be over-aggressive or take a mistake, and therefore try to cover as long as possible the utilization of your gas and capabilities in order to really surprise the team inside the ring to come fight you outside the ring and hit as much damages as you can. And having a gold knockdown shield can also be extremely, as you can see, useful in those very tough scenarios. And once you're used to fight outside the ring and are very comfortable doing so, you can also jump on some squads who are just freshly exiting the ring and still didn't manage to fully heal, remembering that utilizing your gas on someone who already has 50 of health is going to be extremely tough on them and should guarantee you a successful encounter. Finally, once you reach late ring scenarios where the ring is extremely hurtful, keep your eyes open for those wonderful heat shields, which will give you basically the exact location of where an entire squad is usually gonna be, and have your ultimate ready and throw your gas on the money. And once you're in perfect control of the fight, also remember that you don't need to rush things out. This is basically the other squad who has to do the effort of getting out of the ring, and if they decide to stay and try to heal as much possible utilizing more heat shield, for example, well, take your time, throw more gas traps there, use any bullets or nades that you have to your own advantage, control the fight at any given moment, and take your time, enjoy, obviously, those very enjoyable moments. They might also have a caustic sometime, so be ready for it. And finish the fight like you started it, strong and with a lot of confidence. And in a reverse case scenario, utilizing your heat shield to the fullest is also very important. Take your time, think your way out cleverly, make sure you're fully healed before committing to the fight, and that your teammates are in sync and as well able to fight by your side. And once you find an opening to your exit, enable to escape this very hurtful ring, but less hurtful than the squad that is actually waiting for you on the other side. So well, make your timely exit successfully, and make them regret for ever considering gatekeeping you, ever again. So in a nutshell, gatekeeping with caustic. Positioning is key. A successful gatekeep is going to be mostly due to the position you're going to choose to fight and intercept the squad in the ring. While doing so, always anticipate a potential third party coming from behind, and always have an exit strategy or a way to put those two squads toward one another. Outside ring damages, as I keep saying it, Caustic is a beast to be reckoned with outside the ring. Learn to be comfortable to fight in those situations. Finally, swift but thoughtful, do not lose control of those fights while covering a too large area, stay healthy and with your team at any given time. And to finish this masterclass with a usual gameplay session, this one was actually on the last Halloween season event while playing Shadowfall mode. And well, I'll let you enjoy this, I will call a reverse solo gatekeeping for the win. Spoiler alert.
Seconds. I must get inside the ring. Beware. I've added a variable. Placing 45 seconds. Down the subject.
Well, I agree that wasn't really a solo win since I had my fearsome shadow by my side. If you guys have seen the newly released trailer about the summer event kind that we're gonna have in a very short time, I'm not sure it will be as good as Shadow Royale, at least for me, as I enjoy this mode a lot. But regardless, I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial guide from your Caustic one and only. And I wish you a very enjoyable upcoming event, and I'll be seeing you in the ring or at our upcoming custom games during the weekend very soon.
Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory. Yeah, don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring. I just want a life that is worth every day exploring. My whole life I just wanted